Welcome to the Stand With Meg Show, where we rip the mask off the system that's hurting our children and families. What if the very people who claim to protect kids are the ones who traffic them? This is where we are defending parents' rights, protecting children, and giving a voice to the voiceless. I'm Meg, a mother still in the fight, and today's guest is someone whose story echoes the truth I've seen with my own eyes.
Stand with me, stand tall, for every parent, for us all. Raise your voice, don't back down, together we'll take back the crown.
Melissa is a mother, wife, a warrior, and she also is a survivor of a child trafficking herself. For nearly 37 years, she's lived through the trauma that these systems create, and they try to hide. She's now speaking out through We the People and Tiger Lily Resources, calling out the truth most people are too afraid to say. She's running for state representative in Illinois, District 109, for 2026. Right now, she's gathering signatures. She needs 560 to get on the ballot because she knows families like ours need someone who's lived this, ready to legislate for truth, accountability, and healing. She's here today to show us what happens when survivors refuse to be silent and decide to lead. Welcome, Marissa! I'm so glad you're here! By the way, we purposely matched. She got on with red on, and then I'm like, oh, okay. My manager was like, go put on your red blazer. I'm like, okay.
Washed in the blood of Jesus.
Amen, sister. So, how are you? I'm so excited you're here. And she just told me it's her first time ever doing anything. So I was really honored she picked me. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you so much. And I'm so very proud of you and everyone that has stood their ground in this fight. And we're going to continue to go and we're going to get justice for our families. We're going to get justice for our children. We're going to get justice for the people that have been lost, been broken, been torn apart. It's time that these voices rise. And
it is.
I think we're the ones that's going to do it.
And we, the people, need to get in the seat more. Oops. Sorry, hold on. There you go. We need to get in the seats more. You know, when I drove out of nowhere just to decide to go to DC, I met a lot of the congressmen and House representatives. And when I left, it was like, if they can do it, I can do it, you know? And people don't realize that they're not that scary. And a lot of them are really short. Now I got to cut that out.
I'm so sorry. That's so great, though. I think you should keep it in because the authenticity of it.
Like, I'm taller than everybody. I think the only person that I was taller than was Eric Schmidt from Missouri. But everyone else, I'm like, hello down there. Okay, so tell me a little bit about, you said you were trafficked. You've been in this for 37 years. I want to hear a little bit about your story, and then we'll go into the meat and potatoes of what you're doing.
Okay, so, I wasn't ready.
I know. Don't you hate talking about yourself?
Forgive me. Yeah. It's just very emotional because once you step onto the healing journey from all of the torture and trauma and other people picking up the pen to write your story, you just want to rip it out of their hand and be like, no, that's not the truth. And I just got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm telling my story because I'm the one that God created to live in this body with this head. Without the head, there is no body. So when I was a child, I was ripped from my mother. It wasn't because of abuse. It was not because of she couldn't mother me. It was because my grandmother didn't have a way to profit, I guess. She liked money. She liked material things. And so she has a history of trying to take people's kids for a very long time now.
Wow.
But anyways, I won't go into too much detail about being trafficked as a child because of the safety reasons, as we can all put our imagination to that could happen. But I am in the fight. I'm in the battleground of getting my justice for that. But I was egregiously abused as a child. DCFS was in and out. I have been to the Child Advocacy Center multiple times, and they never did anything. They just kept putting me right back, and I ran away multiple times. And every time I tried to reach out, get help, or speak my truth, I was labeled mentally ill, unstable, put on medication, put in mental hospitals. I did form some very bad depression, which any child that has lived through
Right.
that
Would.
would.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't we? I got married when I was 18 to somebody I went to high school with. And to be totally honest, it wasn't out of love. It wasn't out of, anything that I truly wanted at the time. I just wanted to escape.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we all know how that ends when
Yes.
you get married and mess up like that. But then thought I found the love of my life a year later. That is not the biological father of my daughter.
So wait a
but-
second. You got married young with your high school sweetheart, high school sweetheart.
Well, no, he
Well,
wasn't even
no,
really
just
a
a
high
guy from
sweetheart.
school. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you divorced quickly after that?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
not very long. It was
Okay.
not
And
very
then
long.
now you're talking about, so that you had a kid with your first husband, correct?
No.
No. Okay. So you got in and out. You're lucky. Okay. So then now you have a husband now, the love of your life. Okay.
Yes. My husband now I did get falsely imprisoned. I was accused of a crime that I didn't commit. My ex-husband actually did. But I went down for it. And because everything was in my name, and the storyline really molds together about what happened because I had a very real scare of having cancer.
Wow.
And I actually had a tumor removed from my breast. And I tested positive for the BRCA gene. And breast cancer runs in our family. At the same time, when all this went down, it was 2 years later, I think, and Mason was maybe 3 years old. They wanted to test him for all kinds of different things because he wasn't talking, he wasn't hitting the milestones that they say is the norm. They wanted to do all kinds of testing. Well, I did the Head Start, and I did the cognitive, the behavioral, the speech therapy, all of that. And he ended up getting diagnosed with autism, but they did a bunch of other tests. They did some blood tests. They tested for AML. They tested for all kinds of things because he kept having febrile seizures and stuff like that. And but then they told me he wasn't going to walk, he wasn't going to talk, he wasn't going to, do all of these things. So as a mother, you're getting told all these things. What do I do?
Right.
So I worked with him, and my child was fine. He was fine.
Wow.
But it was turned around to something it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't.
What do
it
you think they
wasn't
were trying to accomplish with that?
I think my grandmother was the backer of it because she wanted my kids. She showed up to the delivery room when I had my daughter, my first child, with my husband, and wanted to force her way into the delivery room. And we wanted that intimate moment for ourselves.
Yeah. Get the heck out.
Guess who showed up the next day? DCFS.
Oh my gosh. Right after you gave birth.
Right after my daughter wasn't even 12 hours old, and I had DCFS in my delivery room.
What could anyone ever
Right?
Sorry,
we had our own
you didn't push hard enough. You need to be going to DCFS to take your kid because you
exactly. We had our own home. We worked. I mean, we were married. But
and this is the same grandmother that took you away from your mother.
Yes. Destroyed my mother. My mother, bless her soul, we have a relationship now, but it's not the relationship because of the mental destruction that happens. And if you don't have the strength like you and I or some other mothers,
we have social media to find each other either. Your mom didn't have that back in the day.
No. And she didn't know the court. I mean, think about how bad it is now. Imagine how it was then. Too.
Right. And especially the backlash of people why did you lose your daughter? What did you do?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the only reason I'm mentally here and you're here is because social media, we realize we're not alone. We can help people. And so we don't sit in that silence, the depression. So sorry, go ahead.
I want to be a light. I want to show people that you don't have to live in the story that other people narrate about you.
Exactly.
Because that's not who gets to do that.
Right.
And these self-righteous people, honestly, and the ones that continue to spew the nasty, negative, and the wrong facts, or the the not factual facts,
Right.
they have something wrong with them. Like,
Right.
because normal people don't do that. Like, they don't go out and they see somebody doing well and they, or hurting, it can go both ways. You see somebody hurting, you make fun of them. Like, who does?
Right. And I, for me, it's like, I don't even go down that energy. So when people are like, oh, this person said this and this, I said, okay, that's not true. Who cares? I'm not even going to defend myself half the time. Sometimes I have to if it involves my children, but I don't, because that to me is wasting my energy on lies. And I'd rather be putting my energy to my the highest judge, my Lord, my God, and my truth that is my God's truth. That's where my energy is going to go. So don't, yeah. And they just like to sit in the energy, I think,
Yes.
in this.
And what's more sickening is there's people that they know that you have the authority and the power, yet they still try.
Mhm.
And then it's the ones that go after the other people, and then they change them to come to you. Like
And I think it is also the enemy. We're fighting the enemy here too. So
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Okay, so then you had your child.
Yeah.
Somebody calls DCFS on you. And then what happens?
I'm
Oh, I know. I'm just have to say
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah.
I obviously won't.
I mean, I've had DCF called on me every year since my kids were born, right? So my kids are used to getting pulled out every year, and I had the same social worker. Hi, Alyssa, come on in, So I get it.
So when I went, like fast forward, like I had my kids all the way up until I ended up going to prison. Actually, when I was initially charged with the first charge, like my
So
son
wait, you
had
had two kids at this point?
Yes, I
Okay.
had Mason. Mason is, well, I
Right.
have three.
Okay.
My second child was from being taken against my will.
Oh, wow. You're married and gotten taken against your will?
No,
Oh, what?
no, after the divorce.
Okay.
This is very messy, but very, like, you know how it is with trauma. You have to like comb through it. You
Oh,
have to
absolutely.
feel everything. Like, I'm not ashamed to talk about it. It's just, the scatterbrain that you get with trauma. It just, like, my
Oh, yeah.
short-term memory is like, I have to write everything down. I have to record it. I have to whatever,
Right. Right.
But anyways, I probably should have brought a paper too. And this is my first time.
We all learn and live. Learn and live. Live and learn. Live and learn. See? Look at me.
I just want to fix it. I'm tired of parading around. I'm tired of the parading around ponies. Okay. This campaign stuff is a joke. There are hurting and suffering people, and I just want to do the job. I'm
Right.
like, I know how to fix it. Just let me fix it.
Yeah.
Just let me fix it.
Right.
I really
Right.
think DCFS needs to go. Like,
I agree.
that
100%.
needs to go, be completely deposed of. And then we impose oversight community boards in every county of the state with parents that have been affected injusticeably by the system and parents who have not. So we can come to a round table and actually help families and retrain them and deprogram them from what was originally right. And
Well, it's funny you said that, because right before I got on this call, I have filed with the committee in my Kansas with the committee for the judicial committee, right? And I filed multiple against my judge, and I finally did it again, and it got in front of the committee August 8th. I'm like, okay, I just got the letter back, and what they said, you know what they said?
What?
That if you have problems with your judge, you need to appeal it in appellate court. Hun, hello. I'm stuck in temporary orders. I can't appeal temporary orders. I can't go to appellate court, and they don't even know this. And so they said we're not going to look into it further. I sent so much evidence, but like those committee members don't even know the rules or the laws. I'm stuck, and I've heard so that's like that. It's just like these people don't even understand what's going on.
Yeah. It's I like to call it systemic trafficking.
Absolutely, it is.
It's a systemic issue. We have been operating under the color of law for far too long. And it's only gotten worse.
Can you tell me what that means, the color of law, operating under the color of law?
Color of law is literally, and I'm just going to say it like a human being, it is made up rules by people with God complexes.
Why do they call it the color of law? Do you know?
I don't actually.
I don't either, but I was really asking you that.
I
So,
really don't. I just know it's unconstitutional. I
so you mean
genuinely,
it's the color of law, meaning a judge can decide whatever he wants. He's not following the Constitution. It's made up of his own personal opinions, right?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what
And
that means. So if anyone
yeah,
knows, yeah.
yeah. And
Okay, so
all of this
you,
legal language is
yes,
to literally roadblock and protect themselves.
right,
Like we don't know that language. A lot of
right.
it's Latin,
It
and
is.
it's indescribable at this point. I
And our
just
forefathers didn't put that in. They didn't
no.
put in that you have. I remember I went to the Supreme Court of Missouri, and I was filing a writ there, and the clerks were arguing with me. Oh, it needs to be 13 font. It was 12. Well, I just drove 3 hours to get there. I'm not
Are
leaving.
you serious?
So I argued for an hour. It was very nice, very sweet. But I said, look, our forefathers made it to where we could even write on a napkin. There's no all that new rules that you guys all do it. You're doing it to prevent a common person for fighting for their rights. And our forefathers did not put that in anywhere. You don't see anywhere. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this. No, you
It
could write on
doesn't
it.
say that under the color of law you get deprivation of rights. Like it
Right.
doesn't say that they're allowed to do that. You cannot
Right.
be deprived of your rights.
Right.
And for the one right here, the main focal point of all of this, the God-given right to bear children and raise them as we see fit.
Mm-hmm.
It is God-given. The state of Illinois didn't give us our children in our wombs.
Right.
How do they have the authority to kidnap them?
Yep.
And
And
we're not
that's
going to sugarcoat it.
right. And, even when, like me, I had DCFS saying I was a great mother, and they couldn't believe they got taken from me. And then the same time, the courts ripped them from me like that. Not a goodbye, nothing.
Okay.
For over 11 months, not even nothing. I still don't even have to see my children. So I don't want to talk about me. We're talking about you. But yes, it's ridiculous that we literally we can get in more trouble, meaning like go to Walmart and steal something, then people can just take our kids away all the day long. Somebody can make a false accusation, you lose your children, but there's no accountability. There's no criminal at all, which is insane to me.
I want to discuss the gag orders now that you mention it.
Oh, the gag orders.
What? Who are you?
Right.
Like I am all for a court operating under the Constitution like it was originally designed, but I mean, we can tell across it's a global issue at this point.
It is. It's getting really big
I got
too.
people from Australia reaching out saying,
Oh, me too.
There,
Yep.
Canada. I mean,
Mhm. Ireland, Finland.
look, it's a humanity issue at this point.
Right.
And monsters are hungry for power, money, and it's all greed. It is literally the Roman Empire in the Bible, but it's about to come crashing down.
And I believe it is because I will tell you, I don't know if you know this, but when my kids got taken, I was quiet for 10 years because I've been in court for 12 years. And I have a solid divorce decree that says my ex is like this, that says his nanny wife was trying to take my kids. I mean, I have all the evidence, but no one even cares to look at it. But what happened was after they're taken, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done playing your chess game, keeping my mouth quiet. And look what happened. I still played your game and you still took my kids. And so God's like, I want you to get loud, and I want you to get really loud online. So when we find this remedy and get people rallied up, that we can explode it. And that's exactly what I've been working my butt off for. It's stuff like this. To be able to talk to people like you that are not just whining about it, they're actually stepping up and doing something. That gives me chills.
I'm gonna be totally
Sorry.
honest too. The paperwork was I'm a human being. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Like I get like what they are doing. Like I can see the evidence of the fakeness
Yeah.
that they're doing, the evil. But the paperwork just not my cup of tea. So the next best thing is my voice. And
Right.
I have been through 3 agencies, 7 caseworkers, 5 supervisors, 35 strangers have been playing God in my child and my life.
Jeez.
35 strangers have walked through my owned home. That's my property. I've had to willingly allow into my home just to have access to my child, whom I've been alienated from again for 18 weeks without just cause. and in complete violation of the court order that states that I get 3 visits a week, 4 hours supervised.
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck in. I can't even get a
Yeah.
supervised company to do it with me. Everyone's declining me because I'm being loud.
It's because all the caseworkers, the turnover rate is egregious. Like they have more than McDonald's of a turnover rate because people just can't psychologically, if they have a heart, can't do this job.
Right.
So they
Well,
hire
and they're all the young college girl that just graduated out of high school, college, so
Well, the
they
one
don't
that
have
had the
training.
power to kidnap mine was 25. No
Exactly.
children of her own
Right.
in my
And
driveway.
so you're
No
dealing
court
with
order.
you're dealing with parental alienation right now, currently, like I am. And people are
Yeah.
like, well, don't your older kids want to come see you? I said, look, when they're ripped away from you for 11 months, no phone calls, you know how much stuff they were told?
Brainwashing.
Lies, lies, and lies. And I have one child that he's always been the one that got in the car, and all the kids are like, Dad said this. My stepmom said this about you. And my son, my only son, would be like, guys, you know that's not true. He's smart like that. So he's the only one that sees me.
Yeah.
And so, but I've lost 4. And now I can't see him because I can't get a supervised company because I get 4 hours every other week, but I can't find anyone to do it. But my son's never, ever, ever said that I've done anything to him through all the reunification therapy that I paid over $10,000 for this last year. I get 1 hour a week with him. But still, they say, no, you need to supervise. But my son has, like, we sit there and just talk like, how are you? How's your week? Like, that's it. There's nothing.
Yep.
And they still are making me go through supervised visits.
Yep.
Is that kind of what's going on with you?
Is literally, my child has been sleeping in a closet since January. A literal closet in a housing development,
That is insane.
which is against fire code.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically
absolutely.
against the policy of the housing, the government. I mean, it's government housing. But I was told that there's allowed to be 2 heartbeats to a room. But the woman that has my 13-year-old son, okay, 65-year-old woman, 13-year-old son,
My son just turned 13.
okay, was unfit to have her own grandchildren per the state of Illinois, and were adopted out.
Jeez, but they have your son.
Yeah.
See, none of it makes sense. And that's where it's none of it. It just,
Oh, it makes sense because they get a paycheck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's the horrific truth of it all, is that it's not the best interest of children to have their bonds severed with their parents.
Mm-hmm. It is not. I completely agree.
And I totally get where you're coming from on not like having an ex that you just cannot work with because they're evil and you can't change that. But I do have a relationship with the mother of my husband's child, and we are very close, and we are setting the precedents because we don't want my bonus children to grow up and be traumatized like mine have.
Right. Well, and I was a stepmother because I was a second wife, and I loved his first wife. And he kept saying, why don't you claim her as your own? I said, I don't need to. I can be an aunt figure. She's got a wonderful mother, you know? So yeah, I think people working together in that situation, but there are people like your mother and my ex and his wife now, all she's wanted to do is put me in jail to take my kids. So there's certain people out there that just love to steal people's kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I really want to focus on, because that is, people think of trafficking children as this overseas, or like the women that just came out yesterday. Did you see the women spoke about their new bill act they're trying to put in? And but I would love for you to really tell people it's not just the overseas, the trafficking. It's happens every day in our country.
This is so near and dear to my heart. Like, I'm a boots on the ground. I am running for public office, but it's not about the politics for me. I'm not going out with the parades. I did one, and I'm never doing one again.
Why?
Because it's a waste of money, because I want to be out there in the community working with the people of my community. Like I participate in the recovery community. My husband just celebrated 10 years of sobriety.
That's awesome.
it's huge, and we're helping people. We became Celebrate Recovery leaders. We were helping.
So you're
Like,
saying you think it's a waste of time because you would rather spend your money and energy in actually doing things for people, not just sitting there smiling in a car.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes awesome sense.
And I'm not downgrading all of them because they're not all horrible. They're
No,
not.
they're
They're
not.
not.
I grew up,
But
my dad ran for state representative. I don't know if you know that. So I grew
no,
up,
that's cool.
I grew up doing the parades and going door to door with my dad. I mean, I remember going door to door at, gosh, probably 7, all like with my dad. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I know. They're not all bad, and you're not saying not everyone do parades, but I love how you put that though. The reason you don't want to do the parades is because you'd rather be investing in the community.
Yes, and when you're watching, like, and since I've gotten into the world of the politicians, I went to a couple of events up in Springfield. My husband and I went up for a couple days. That's where I got this beautiful picture of where I'm gonna hopefully be next year.
Woo!
Um,
You
and fighting
are.
for everyone.
You're going
In
to.
District 109. Yes, I'm going to win. But I we were so not in our element because you would see people and speak to people and they would say some outlandish evil things about the other person over there, and then 5 minutes later you see them laughing hysterically together. And that's why I was like,
Like high school, hun.
I can't do High School
I
Musical
know.
Mean Girls, and I can't do fake. Like,
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to do fake and phony.
No.
I'm not in this for personal gain whatsoever. I literally clean houses for a living,
Mhm.
and it's a humble profession. I love it. I love the people I work for. Um, and they all know my story, and they're all encouraging, and they're all backing me 100%. And I think the fall of our constitutional republic is just the evil taking over and people stepping on each other to get there.
Mhm.
And we're teaching our next generations coming up that that's how you get places, and we've got to stop that before
Right.
like now. We didn't need
Right.
to stop it yesterday, but like we need to stop it now.
Right.
Because our future generations are doomed.
Oh, absolutely. And when I was on the podcast with the Love Doc, Dr. Sarah Hensley, she's a psychiatrist, and she was talking about what, like, that we're creating a whole generation of horrible relationship problems because all these children are going to have abandonment issues, you know. And so, yeah, she talked on that. It was nice to have a doctor finally be like, we have a serious issue if we don't change this.
And silencing the abused and
Yes.
protecting the abuser. That,
Hmm.
as we can see, yesterday was monumental. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Caroline Levitt is like my spirit animal combined. So I
Tell me
love
what you
them
like
both.
about it. Tell me what you liked what they said
I just
yesterday.
love their I can see their, like, don't think I'm crazy, please, but I feel like I can feel their soul and that they're genuine and they're speaking up for us, and they're like, it's like powerhouse women, you know. Men have for so long have just abused us and neglected us and got away with it,
And I
harmed
didn't
us.
get to watch it because I've been so busy, but someone today I was talking to on a show said that they all were like arm in arm, hand in hand or something.
Yes,
This
yes,
makes
the
me so
survivors finally got to speak on the world stage, and that set the whole precedence for people like us to, like, it's time. We
right,
deserve our justice too.
right,
Like,
right.
I'm tired of waiting.
I
That's
know.
the true reason. And when I see so many cases, case after case after case of egregious mishandling and just destroying and severing bonds and traumatizing and re-traumatizing children over and over, enough's enough already.
Amen.
Like, I am done with that. I
Yep.
am done with the court. I'm done with the judges. I've had 3 different judges,
I'm done with the
and
attorneys that
the
spin
first
things on
one had a
purpose.
personal and professional relationship with somebody. I can't say it out loud, but yes, it was brought to the public pretender's attention, and he will not file anything. He keeps telling me there's no basis in the law. What do you mean there's no basis in the law to get my child out of sleeping in a closet and come back to his 4-bedroom home with his parent that
Exactly.
has their rights and fully intact?
Yeah. It's
What? 8
well, great.
placements? That's the best interest for a child?
I
And
know.
he was collateral damage. He wasn't even involved in the altercation between me and my daughter and taking her cell phone away. That's what this all arose from, was taking a cell phone from a teenager.
Oh, that's what mine started. Well, second started. I took my heart. She stayed out till 5:30 in the morning at 14, and I said, okay. The next day, I was like, you go and lose your cell phone. Oh, yeah. Oh, I will tell you this too, with me learning so many stories, and I know you probably know this, but one thing I'm finding is like 14 and 15-year-olds that want to go do naughty things, they will purposely tell lies on their parents just so they can go into foster. Because guess what? They can go do whatever they want.
Well, mine was brainwashed because even though I was harmed egregiously by my grandmother, my children loved her.
Right.
And I was put in a position where I didn't want to be her and separate them. So when I got my children back after a 4-year grueling battle against my own grandmother to drop guardianship, no attorney, mind you. I had one in the beginning. I was like, get out of my way. I had a 3-day trial. It was a termination of guardianship, and I actually won.
Good.
And I got my children back. And that Christmas, I invited the woman that egregiously abused me into my home because my children loved her, and I loved my children more than I hated her.
Right. So you put them first.
I've always put my children first.
Yep.
I may have failed in some areas, but that doesn't make us a bad mom.
Right.
Making a bad judgment call and taking money, $1,200, mind you, is all that I took. And I went to prison for over a year, and I'm still paying for it.
I'm so sorry. I think when you just said there, I struggle with, because we've been crucified as mothers ever since they came out of our bodies, right? And we're constantly being told, you're not doing enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And you hear it. I've been a mom for 17 years now, right? And I really struggled with telling God, saying, God's like, you're not a perfect mother, but you are a good mother. And what is a good mother? A good mother will admit she's wrong. A good mother will not stop fighting. A good mother will fight till the end for her children. And that's all I want to
Accountability
be.
is the cure. Accountability is the cure
Yep.
for
And
everything.
yep. And I had to come to that thing, say, I am a good mom. It's okay to say I'm a good mom,
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'm not perfect. I made a lot of mistakes, but I'm a good mom because I'm not giving up until I die.
Yes.
My door will always be open, and they're always welcome. No judgments, nothing, right? And I know you feel that same thing. Just with
I can't judge anybody, even my adversaries or adversaries. Sorry, my adversaries. I don't even judge them because my feeling is like, if you have to go out of your way that hard to come after me, thank God it's me and not somebody else that can handle it, because there's something seriously going on with you.
right.
Because hurt people. That's true. But
Well, and it's funny now that I've gotten on social that there's people out there that just make fun of other people just to get followers because they know drama and hate gives you more followers. And I'm just like, holy nollies, block. I'm not. And so, yeah, watch
listen,
out. After this, you're going to get a lot of hate because you are talking to me.
Those skeletons. Everyone's got those skeletons in there.
Right.
So just be careful, because what goes around always comes back around.
I hope so. My ex has been a jerk to me for 17 years.
I get it.
Girl.
37 years, girl.
32. Okay, you beat me. Sorry. You win.
No, I'm not. I don't want to.
I'm saying it's funny.
The only thing I want is everyone to win.
I know. That's how my heart is too.
Everyone. I want everyone to win.
Right.
Because if even a few of us fail, we all fail, because we've got people taking their lives.
Oh, I know.
Over this.
And that's what they're pushing us to try to do, because they want us to, see, she was crazy. And trust me, I've never thought about hurting myself my whole life. I'm never doing that. Never thought of it until this last year and a half. 5 times. And I can tell you exactly what happened when I wanted to. And I was like, nope, he will not win. They will not win. I will not go, do this. But it took a lot for me. And I know they want us to, because then they're like, yeah, we're right. Right. I'm sorry, you take away a mother's children. We
Oh,
feel
that
our children inside of us. There are your children's DNA's in you, like mine, all of us, women, and we feel what they feel. And so you're taking away everything, and then you expect us to be okay?
just sit and take it?
Yeah,
No. And
no,
I'm going to say hell no to this point. I
yeah,
am not sitting and taking the fact that they kidnapped my child. Not once, but the twice.
yeah. That's insane. That is
Four
horrible.
and a half years through the court with my own grandmother, who, when I went to prison, mind you, I had stationary, my daughter, I had my kids all the way up into the day I went in. Like they love, like I remember my daughter's voice. Like the on the phone the last day I got to talk to her before I went to
I know.
prison.
I can't even talk
And
about
then
that.
my
I'll start bawling.
grandmother cut off my communication, wouldn't even let me have phone calls. They were free, didn't cost her a dime. I went to Women and Family Services weekly and kept a log and had it signed off by the counselor. I tried to call. They offered to get a bus, and all she had to do was take him to the bus, and they were going to bring him to see me. You know, women were in prison with me that harmed their own children, like egregiously, like one of them passed, and they still got to see their kids, their other ones.
That's what's so sick. Like I would have more rights to my children if I was in jail.
Right. But I didn't. Mine were like
Well, she
she,
manipulated yours. So if it was like, well, let's say they're their
yeah,
dad or something that was still with you, he would have brought
yeah.
him, you would have been able to see him. But she manipulated the system like my ex would have.
See,
But
both of them ran from the hills. They know exactly who she is. And the only reason they have bowed down to her and worked with her behind my back after I got my kids back, because that's what happened. After I fought that egregious battle, we had a beautiful blended family. Okay. My husband and I, and my bonus, I call her my baby mama. She's my baby mama. And her boyfriend and his son and her daughter. We were a family with my two children. Like we did birthdays together, we did holidays together. And like, my grandmother couldn't stand that. So she got in my daughter's head, and my daughter was supposed to go stay with a friend overnight, which I trusted my daughter because she gave me no reason not to.
right,
And my grandmother picked her up and took her across state lines to meet the man that was in the delivery room 14 years later. He left me when high and dry, as she attacked with DCFS and everything afterwards, which that's what these people do. They literally separate people. So
yes,
obviously my marriage failed. She
right,
destroyed my first one too. I didn't even have a
right,
chance with that. And leading up, I'm not perfect, but when you're in constant fight or flight and you're trying to protect, your motherly instinct is to protect your children at all costs from the person that abused you as a
right,
child.
right,
uh, you're not of sound mind.
right,
You know, you're being forced to be in that state of mind. It
right,
was not a choice of mine.
right. I
Um,
completely agree.
yeah, and I just did everything I could. There was a point in time where, with my son's father, Mason was maybe, I think he was like, no, I was pregnant with Mason. Melody was a year and a half, and after I placed my daughter that was conceived against my will for adoption. I carried her to term and I placed her for adoption because I did not want to hold any resentment towards her, and I didn't want any of my trauma from it, my
Wow.
experience from it, to be placed on her. So I handpicked a family for her.
That's
And I
amazing.
know that she is with an amazing family. I just know it in my heart. I know she's good. And I know one day she's going to reach out, and I am going to reach out back. Like
How old is she?
she's 14.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me cry. That is
My
so
my
amazing.
my oldest just turned 16 on the 26th. Oh, sweet 16. And I'm
Uh,
missing it.
I know my son just turned 15 and 13 just like 2 weeks ago. My twins are about to turn 12.
Yeah.
My daughter started senior year this year. My son started high school. I
We
keep talking about my
stop
kids.
this. Cut this out, please. No, you don't have to. I want to be real, raw, and transparent. So honestly, I don't care what I look like, Meg.
No,
I
I
just
don't either. I just
need,
cry all the time online already. So you
yeah,
not seen my crying videos? I cry all the time.
I do, but you're so beautiful. I feel like I'm a hot mess expressed, and that's okay too.
No, no. People don't realize I have staph all over my face, really bad. Once they got taken, staph just grew and my eyeballs went down my chest because I was in so much pain. And so I've had staph this whole time, and it goes away and it comes back up, and so now it's inflamed. And so, people don't realize. One time I let people see the staph, and I got all the comments like, "Oh, she's on meth."
Oh, of course you did.
Right. And I don't care if people see it. The problem is, I don't want to distract from
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the pain that we were going through physically as well as mentally. I mean, my eyesight went from 20/20 to like threes. I have to wear contact or I wear like my readers. But so yeah, see, I'm like purposely changing the subject so I don't keep talking about my kids because then I'll be crying all night. And I think that's what we have to do sometimes is push it. I do have like once or twice a month now. Now I used to cry every day and scream, but now I have close to my period, when the hormones, and you're all kind of more sensitive. I bawl and scream. And that's one thing God taught me, that you have to cry it out. You have to scream it out. It's okay. Get angry.
Like I said, cry it out, because if the other alternative, I don't want any more mugshots. And I'm just being honest here.
You
I
know, my
always say
girlfriend,
now, be about the hug life, not the thug life.
my girlfriend goes,
take the girl out of the hood. You can't take the hood out of the girl.
yes, I love that. And my girlfriend said, there's no fall season. There's no fall season jail or something so funny. Because she's like, do not get arrested, Meg. There's no fall season jail. And I was like, oh, that's funny.
Listen, even when I went to prison, like, I was the light. Like,
I bet you were, girl. I bet you had everyone like, let's do this.
I'm just like, yeah, playing volleyball and going to church and walking down the hall. Like, when I was in prison, though, I will tell you, it was the worst thing and the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Because prison freed me from the chains of my grandmother. And while I was in, I worked on myself.
Yeah.
That's where the process started.
Right.
And I literally fought for my children from behind bars.
Yeah.
I have handwritten court filings from behind bars. And I luckily had a paralegal, and she was going for her license, but she was a volunteer that would come into the prison and help people with legal documents and the proper verbiage and
See, that's what I want to become, a licensed lawyer, so I can do that.
But that's what I focused my attention and time on, and like really diving deep into who I wanted to become.
Right.
And I did that. 3 years after prison, I own my own home. I've owned it for 3 years. So it's been 7 years ago when I got out of prison, and I own a home. I married the man I met in the halfway house.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
In East St. Louis. And we have steadily worked on ourselves, and we had a beautiful family before it was ripped to smithereens.
Yeah.
And this didn't just affect my children. This affected
his kids. Yeah.
Their siblings. Like they were brother, sisters, and then bonus mom and dad too, because
yeah, y'all became a family.
We all called each other mom, dad, Mama Melissa. That's my name, and even for like my youth group kids and my other teenagers in my neighborhood, my communities, like they all.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Yeah. I can't even go
make it make sense that this is still happening.
Yeah. It's insane. Very much insane. I love that you found a love of your life. I think that's amazing. I think that's a gift that God's given you. And, the reason I bring that up is because God hasn't given me my man yet. And I've been waiting for 12, 13 years, and I'm not settling, and I'm okay being single. But I know he's out there, and hearing your story, one day I pray for a partner. It's gonna happen. But I know it will.
Ooh, girl, you're going to be crying. Stop it.
I'm just so happy you have a person and you guys have a family,
Don't get me wrong. It has been rocky.
No,
Like,
and it's not that.
because
Of
but
course it's
we're fighting
rocky.
through it. We're
Yes,
battling the
they're
enemy
healing, and
together.
any relationship can be rocky. No, I totally get it. It's just,
But it was forced that way.
yeah,
Like, but we have survived it and overcame it. And that's what true marriage is about.
it is. It completely is, and that's where you teach your children how to not give up because you're fighting, how to keep fighting for what you know is truth. That's your person, not giving up. Okay, wow, that was amazing. We're going to go over just a few little things. What is Tiger Lily Resources?
Tiger Lily Resources is a human trafficking organization, and we're combating human trafficking. We're putting a stop to it. It is very near and dear to my heart. My girl Meredith, shout out, because she's going to love to hear this. She is the founder, and she just celebrated 10 years founding Tiger Lily's Resources. And we need partners, we need sponsors, because we have a lot of kids we need to help.
And that's funny you
And
say that, because there's a guy, he's a fireman that's helped me move twice with this
yeah,
last year. He literally does a side job just to get money, because he goes with all the firemen to go get the kids out and rescue them.
I love that.
And I'm like, why isn't there more of that for guys like that to actually not have to earn all this money to go
Yeah,
pay for them to go get these kids out?
yeah,
So Tiger Lily is kind of that type of organization.
yes.
Okay.
And they were founded off of, which I'm not going to tell my girl's story, but if you go follow Tiger Lily Resources, you will see her, and everybody should because she's incredible and she's a survivor too. And we met by chance on like a Facebook post on like a random like yard sale Facebook
That's
site.
awesome.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you do that, and then you're part of We the People.
Yes, We the
Tell me what
People
that.
for Melissa Steele is my committee.
Okay,
So,
that's your committee. Yes.
yes.
So tell me a little
And
about that.
that's where people can go donate. I'm at People's State Bank, but I want to do this different. I want to just be authentically myself and go out and meet the people. And God is aligning me with the right people, and the right people are seeing my story and seeing all of our stories. And I think collectively, this is our time, and we're going to take over, and justice is going to be served.
I completely agree, because I will tell you, with all the messages I get, God's always like, click on that one. I click on it and I'm like, wow, God, thank you. And I'm like, how many
Yeah.
more am I missing? And he's just like, Megan. I mean, there's one morning I woke up and there's this guy crying on TikTok about his kids. And I said, call me. He called me and we talked for an hour. And I can't do that with everybody, but God said that, do this. And I'm like, okay, got it. All right, do it.
I do that. I have a bad habit of like overwhelming myself, so I've
Oh,
toned that back.
me too.
I've toned it down though, and slowed down. But today, girl, I was pushing it. I'm so happy I made it though, because I was like, oh, I got to make this. I got to make this. I got to make this. And then God did it. And then I had extra time. So, I mean, here we are.
Well, it was perfect, because she calls me out of the post office and I'm like, I have this many papers, right? Mailing, and I'm like, what's that? On my FaceTime, I'm like, the post office stayed open for me. And
Yeah.
she's like, well, could she have more time? I said, girl, we don't go on for 45 minutes. And I said, secondly, I haven't eaten and I look like poo poo because I had a refresh too. Right. So I was like, we're good.
I told her I was willing to come on here in a ball cap and a t-shirt like I work.
No. Well, I'm glad, and we got to look so cute.
Thank you.
Well, where
I
can
just
people-
got this from Shein today.
Oh, I'm all
Literally.
Sheen. This is Sheen. This is Sheen. Everything's Sheen.
It was like $7. It's a sparkly sequin jumpsuit.
Well, and I hate, like, I did, so God is so good. Right before all my kids were taken, he had me work for this company where I had to dress very nice. And so I bought tons of things before I went poor, tons of things from Sheen. And so I have a whole closet full of amazing, cool Sheen stuff, right? It was cheap.
Love it.
But now I'm like, feel bad to shout it out because of all the, everything going on with China and all that, But
Yeah.
we do have Sheen Inc. Anyway, okay, where can people?
This got here in 2 days, so I don't think it came from overseas.
Well, it's probably, well, I know there's a LA one now, but I don't know. I think I don't know. But okay, focus. Look at you and me. Yeah, we represent Sheen today, I guess. Apparently, all my rings, makeup, Sheen.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me where people can follow you and what can they do to help in your case or your cause.
Well, I want people to learn how to help themselves, and I want them to stand up for themselves.
So
Does that make sense?
Yes, but what would you tell someone that would be like, oh, that would never happen to me? That would never happen. I'm a good mom. I'm a good father. That would never happen to me.
I'm going to pray for you. And I'm going to pray for you. And I'm going to pray for you. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
And people don't realize that a neighbor, someone across the state that you upset on social media can call DCF on you right now. My friend just had that happen to her.
That is insane to me.
Yep.
That people are doing that.
Yep. A lot. And so
but if they haven't lived the experience, they don't have to care about it mindset.
I know. And that's what angers me, because right now, if you have a child right now in the United States, you're not protected or safe.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to do the ending close. Melissa, thank you so much for your strength and your story. You're not just a guest, you're a witness, and your voice is breaking chains. To every parent listening, you are not crazy, you are not alone, and you are not powerless. The system feeds on silence. So we're getting louder, stronger, and smarter. If this conversation moved you, share it, tag someone, or tell your story. Thank you so much for joining me, Melissa. Until next time, bye-bye.